Hello, good people. Today we are going to be building mini mosaics that are 30 inches tall. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. We're going to start off with the small ones. So first I am going to start off by taking my foam board out of the box that I got from my Office Depot delivery. The numbers that we're going to be spelling out today is going to be a 50. It is a surprise from a wife to her husband for his 50th birthday today. So this mosaic, I actually purchased this from the creativeheartstudio.com, and basically you print out the template and it's like a puzzle and it has numbers on it, and then she gives you instructions as to how to put it together. So we're starting off with the 5 here. I have the rest of my puzzle piece that I need right here. So as you can see, I already have the puzzle together. We typically use painter's tape to actually attach the puzzle together so that it doesn't mess up the good old foam board that it is laying over top. And I'm gonna try to bring this puppy as close to the edge of my foam board as possible so that I don't waste board. Currently, the price of foam board is about $13. It's going up as we speak. So you definitely want to make sure that you utilize your supplies well. Alrighty, so now what I'm gonna do is take my pencil and I'm going to outline the 5. So you wanna press down on the foam board, but not too hard. The goal is that once we remove the puzzle piece, we see the indent of the 5 on the foam board so that we can cut it out with our X-Acto knife. So this is a 40 by 60 foam board that I'm actually using, and that's because I do 5-foot mosaics a lot. So that's why I have this huge piece of foam board. So now I am going to take off my puzzle and make sure that I traced everywhere that I was supposed to trace. Yay! Awesome. And instead of always having this crazy puzzle piece, you can do a template. So let me show you the 0. Because of the fact that we're always using templates and creating mosaics, we just decided that we would use this cardboard. My mom actually came up with this. Brilliant, Mom. So we use this cardboard to make a template so we don't have to mess with all that paper all of the time. So this will definitely speed up the process. So since this side is the straight side, I'm going to push it up at the end of the foam board and then make sure it is not touching my good old 5. And I am going to trace around my 0. So now I have my X-Acto knife and I am going to cut out my 5 and my 0. The hardest thing when it comes to cutting is that when you're just doing the indent, it's harder to see because sometimes there's like a shadow. So you really have to position yourself so that you can see the indent and your shadow isn't covering the indent. So that's why I recommend going with tracing that cardboard template, because the pencil you can clearly see. Let's see if we can pop this 5 out. So look guys, our 5 is out. Ta-da-da. Now I'm gonna do the 0. So when it comes to the 5-foot 60-inch letters and number mosaics, it's gonna be the same process in terms of the puzzle and the templates and cutting everything out. The biggest difference is going to be the width of the edges that we're going to use to make the mosaics 3D. Now what we're going to do is make the edges for our 5 and our 0 so that we can make this puppy 3D. Guys, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. A lot of good content coming up. Please comment, please like. I truly appreciate you. Right now, what we're gonna do is we're creating our side pieces for our molds. So this, remember, is for when we're making the mini mosaics. So in terms of the width, you're gonna mark up 3 inches. And then keep making those marks as you go down the board. So then after you have those, what you're gonna do is take your ruler and you're going to make sure it's aligned with those marks that you made. And then simply take your X-Acto knife and just cut all the way down. Then you're gonna take your ruler, there's gonna be more marks down here, and you're gonna slide it down and continue cutting. We got 1 strip, and I'm gonna create 1 more. So now, what we're gonna do is clean up a little bit in terms of pencil marks that are on the foam board. So now what we're gonna do is score our foam board so that we're able to do the curves, especially on the 0. The 0 is a curved number. So because the board is so straight, we have to score the board in order for it to be flexible. So you're actually gonna use the width of your roller. You see there's cork on the back of this one, and it's a metal roller, so it makes it super easy to score the foam board. Take your ruler, and then take your X-Acto knife, hold on to the ruler, and you're just gonna begin scoring. So as you're scoring, you don't wanna push too hard because you don't want to completely cut the board. You just wanna slice the board a little bit into that foam that's in between the poster board so that we're able to bend it at the end. Okay guys, so look at this. Look how flimsy it is now. So this is gonna be perfect for our 0. You wanna go through and kind of bend it a little bit, but not to the capacity that it's going to rip apart completely. And then this is gonna be perfect for our rounded edges. Let me do another one of these puppies. Okay guys, it's time to build our 0. Now what we're gonna do is take our foam board and start hot gluing it. So typically I like to use a dual temperature hot glue gun, but I don't know where it's at. The only reason I like to use the dual temperature is because it's faster to dry, so you don't have to like hold up on the foam board as long. So I would recommend the dual hot glue gun. You want to make sure that you're pressing down on the sides as you're hot gluing it. So press down and then press also against the edge of that 0. So connecting the pieces, I'm gonna put some hot glue on the edge so that it connects seamlessly. Okay guys, let's fill in our gap. It's so cute, it looks like a gap in a smile. I'm gonna measure it out to see how much I need. Take my pencil so I can make a mark of where I am going to need to cut the board. Since this is a straight piece at the bottom of the zero, I actually don't need to score it. So I can keep the piece straight like it is. Our gap is full. So now we're gonna do the inside of the zero. So I'm gonna score this for the inside, but so far this is what it looks like. So here you can see that this is the width of a ruler. I am going to just do a little bit of scoring right in between. So I'm kind of just estimating where my half mark is, which is perfectly fine. It'll still work out. So the part that I scored is actually going to be on the inside of the circle. So it's on this part. Alrighty, so now I am almost done with the edges of the zero. Yes, so happy. Now on to the 5. So the 5 has some straight edges, which I'm excited for because I don't have to score. Okay guys, we need to cut more pieces. This is gonna be good for the rounded part. So I would say we're gonna need at least one more. Guys, we're still working off the same piece of foam board. FYI, this is how much we have left so far. So the cut marks are gonna be on the inside of the 5. Now we have our 5. So I like to put the balloons inside of my mosaics before I put my bases on the back. All right, so now it's time to fill in my 5 and 0. I am actually going to be using black, dark blue, and pale blue. So to start, I am going to pump up my black balloons. All right. This is the size that I'm gonna do. I'm doing it so that I can fit 2 balloons on each side. You wanna make sure that you tie the neck, that you swirl the neck several times and then you tie it, because it's super easy for them to leak air if you don't do that. I am going to cut the neck off of my balloon. Put a little bit of glue while it's on low temperature on the bottom. Stick it in. For the ones that are on the edges, put a little bit of glue on the sides. Guys, you want to make sure you take that big balloon, you want to make sure you push it all the way and you're pumping it up from here so that you can get these cute little 5-inch balloons from a 9-inch or 11-inch balloon. See how big it starts? And then we're going to let out air until it gets to the size we want it. And I'm gripping that balloon tight while I'm releasing it. Then you want to twist several times. I don't recommend doing this if you don't have to, because it is hard on your fingers. Okay, so now I'm going to make the bases. So we're still using the leftover board that we have. We're gonna start with the base for the number 5. So what I'm gonna do is I want it to go up pretty high. It doesn't need to be on both sides of my 5, but I want that puppy to go up high to give it some good stability. In terms of the width of the base, I'm gonna make it 3.5 inches, because I'm basically just taking the straight part of the bottom of the 5, but I don't want the base to be seen in the middle. So I'm measuring to see the perfect spot, and it's gonna be 3.5 inches. So first, I am gonna use a pencil to actually make my triangle. This is gonna be 3.5. I want it to be 14 inches, so. Use the triangle that I just cut out to make another triangle that's the same exact size. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make another 2 for my number 0. So now I'm making 2 squares that measure 3.5 by 3.5 inches. So this is going to be for my number 5, and then for my number 0, I'm going to make that puppy 7 inches long. So this is 7 by 3.5 inches for my number 0, and this is 3.5 by 3.5 inches for my number 5. We have our triangles. Our triangles are 14 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide. All right, guys, now it's time to make this good old base. So for our number 5, what we're gonna do, take one of the triangles. You want the straight end, not the slanted end. And you want to put hot glue on that straight end of the triangle. And you want to press it up against your number 5. So this section of the number 5. And then you're going to take that base that we made, the 3.5 by 3.5 inches, and we're going to put that puppy right here. Again, we have our straight end of our triangle. Put some hot glue on the inside. Run some hot glue along the inside of your triangle. And voila, we have a base. So the 5 is drying. So now you guys can see why I made the base 7 inches. I don't want it to show in the middle, so I need to make sure that it's kind of in the center of the edges of the 0. You want to make sure your 0 is standing up straight. So push it so that it stands exactly where you want it to stand. Okay, so now I am going to add some more balloons to it to fill in some big white spaces that I see mostly. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys. Yeah, mosaics definitely are time consuming, so you want to price it so that it's worth your while. So for these 2 mini mosaics, it's $140, and delivery is $45. And then I'm also including a balloon bouquet with this. That's going to be an additional $150. All right, we got our 5 and our 0, good people. Now I will show you guys the full thing with the balloon bouquet. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please comment if you learned anything below. Please like, please turn on the notification bell. We have a 5-foot mosaic tutorial coming up for you. You are appreciated. Until next time, good people.